It took me to go to therapy to learn how to sit with my emotions. Feel ha It doesn't exist. Therapy opened my heart to face my emotions, which led me to opening up to God and one look and I breathe. Hey guys, welcome to Esther's Diary, where stories are told, testimony are shared, and lessons are learned from me and my respective guests. The amount of times I have recorded this video, it's insane. It doesn't want to come out. And guess where I am? I'm at school, and that's where the story's gonna come out. I don't care. I don't care about the aesthetic anymore because yeah, the story needs to be told. So it's only fair before I even bring somebody to tell their story, I gotta share my story, okay? That is only fair for the channel and for myself. So sit down, you guys, I'm gonna give you my story. It took me to go to therapy to learn how to sit with my emotions and learn how to cry. So let's get into the story time, y'all. So let's go back to like my childhood. Yeah, so I'm from Burundi. It's a small country, to those who don't know, a small country in the East Africa, close to Rwanda. I grew up in a family of two parents and siblings. Both my parents, one thing they never liked is when you use emotions to get what you want. So that was like a no. You couldn't. So let's say you ask something, my mom, right, or my dad's like, oh dad, I want to go out, and then he or she says no. Literally, if you cry, makes it worse. So I grew up just seeing that, and I have a younger sister. Her own mechanism was to cry. Literally, she would cry about anything. If you say no to her, she would cry. If you leave her, she would literally cry. So I grew up seeing that, and in my mind, unconsciously, it was like, you know what? It clicks like you can never show your emotions. You can never cry. You can never just show that you're sad or anything. You have to like suck it up so that you can get what you want. So I equated not crying, not showing emotions to getting what I want. Okay, so I grew up, years went by. Again, I couldn't really get to, sit down and face my emotions. Absolutely not. I think the only time I would cry is when I'm in my room, like under my sheets. That's the only place I could feel safe enough to cry and let my emotions out. So that's how, like, life went on. So when I learned that my mom was sick, again, I don't like, from those like many years, like I think many years after. So I think when that whole not crying, it was when we were young, so like around 9 years to 10 years to 12 years old. So and then my mom, I was told that my mom was sick in like 2019, so that I couldn't even cry. I think I cried in the shower. I cried in the shower. I was just like, God, please, just do something about it. Do something about it. Cause yeah, it wouldn't. I couldn't take it. Yeah, and then also like one thing also that I wanna mention is I moved like moving countries too. Right, you don't get enough time to process the moves that you're doing. So it's always you're always on survival mode. You're always trying to survive. So the time to sit and like, analyze things. First of all, I was young, and I'm like, there's no time to come face to face with my emotions. Because again, emotions means that I'm not gonna get my way. I'm not gonna get anything. So I rather just swallow it and keep it moving. Guys, that is very dangerous, by the way. So yeah, 2019 happened. So when my mom told me that she was sick, again, I couldn't show how I felt. I couldn't tell anyone. Yo, that thing ate me up, y'all. Ate me up. If I tell you, I spent like 2 years investing in people's life rather than investing in my own life. And that was because I couldn't sit down to properly feel my emotions. So that was so hard. So I did what I knew to do best, which is ignore, pack my feelings somewhere, and then boom, push it to the next thing, or push it to the next year or another time. And in the meantime, I will focus on, like, other people. I focused on boys, yo. Like, I would have talking stage. I'm literally putting my business out there, yo, but I'm literally saying sharing this to help somebody. But yeah, I would spend my time talking to boys, talking to like literally anyone who would give me their time, anyone who would want to I listening here, I'll be that person. I'll sacrifice my own sleep, literally. I survived, I lived in that stage for I think 2 years. Now, when my mom passed away, yo, guys, I lost my mind, and not like lose my mind, like I became crazy. I was on autopilot, especially the first week. They like told us, oh, you need to get like we had to get documents because we wanted to go for her funeral in Belgium. So we had to get to school, get some documents, and be able to leave. And it was like during exam season. Okay, so I went to get those papers. Yo, when I tell you I autopilot, I don't even know how I was not hit by a car. I do not know. I do not know. If you had to ask me how, I don't know. By the grace of God. Okay, so we got the papers. We went to the funeral. We like buried her. Came back in January, I believe, of 2023, and then I had to sit for the exams I didn't do in December. Let me tell you, God, when I say God knows every single thing, He knows. Because I couldn't sit down to study, or I couldn't sit down to study. Remember the years I spent avoiding my emotions? So I had a lot of emotions and I didn't know what to do with them. Like I couldn't even sit by myself because every time I sit, I would think about my mom and I would start crying, and I couldn't like get the cry that I want from deep down. I don't know. Like when you lose somebody, you want there's this cry in your like from your stomach. So I couldn't get it. I couldn't get the cry from my stomach for some reasons. So even the exams that I had to sit, I didn't study for them, and I failed. I failed one. I failed computer science, and I got an F because I didn't study. Again, I couldn't sit down to just face my emotions. Absolutely not. I got scared because I got a letter. So the thing here in Canada, if you're in like engineering degree, I don't know about other faculties, but in engineering, if you fail a course and you get overall GPA below 2.0, you get academic warning. Yo, that is my like it was the worst nightmare. After I got that letter, I was like, absolutely not, absolutely not. I'm not gonna fail. I'm not. I didn't come that far to come and fail. Absolutely not. So I sat down. I tried honestly my best. I still couldn't like focus the way I was before my mom passed away. So I think I lost part of my focus. I don't know how to explain it, y'all, but something changed in my mind. So I sat. I pushed myself so hard, so hard, so hard, but I couldn't. I literally couldn't. So I sat one day. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go look for a counselor. I need to look for a counselor so I can get my focus back because it was giving Madame cannot sit in one place. Like I couldn't sit in one place. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go see a counselor and maybe they will help. So I took an appointment here at my school, and I went. The intake, just the intake, yo. The intake, I cried the whole session. Like I was just crying and I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like I was literally apologizing. I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cry. So after like that session, she was just taking down notes down what was happening, just getting a little bit of my background. After that session, I just literally something clicked. I realized like, Esther, you have been carrying a lot of emotions in you, and not been you have not allowed yourself to feel what you're feeling. You have always stacked up your emotions. When I tell you after that intake, I wasn't like 100% back to my full, uh, operational mode, but it became better. And that is the term I got the highest grades actually. I think I got an A, I got a B plus, and I got a C. So overall, I think I had a GPA of like B, 3 point something. I was like, wow, after failing, after like being on the academic warning, actually that also the academic warning was also like a boost on its own because I'm not gonna lie. It was a boost. So after that, I was contacted by now the therapy who I went to, like who I did therapy with. I think he contacted me in May, if not June of 2023. and then I did 1 month of just like therapy. We would meet every week. Guys, when I tell you that I had died in terms of emotional intelligence, emotional regulations, I had died completely not aware. Like I wasn't self-aware. I actually thought I was the best, I was like the full package. Kumbe, I had like baggages that I had back when I was a child. So I was like, wow, wow, wow. It literally took me to go to therapy to learn how to sit and be okay in the first place with my emotions, be able to cry, have an ugly cry. Literally after that, I started opening up. Even my relationship with God started being better because I was that person who stuck up with every single thing. And then my relationship with God, I used to see it in a performative way. So I was like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I'm not reading the Bible, if I'm not doing this, God will not really listen to me. But like fast forward in like December ish, a friend of mine introduced me to like how the way she talks to God is through writing letters to God. So I started doing that too. I started to opening up to God. I started telling him, yo, man above, first of all, why did you take my mom? Why did you take my mom? Guys, I'm not even joking. I asked him, I'm like, why did you take my mom? Because you said through your momishishaguya, I don't know how you say it in English, shaguya when you're the kids going to but why didn't you not heal her? Your mishishaguya way, it doesn't exist. Does it not exist? Or what's going on? I didn't like he didn't come down to earth to like answer me right away. He's like, oh, because of this. But if I tell you, he revealed to me the reason why everybody on this earth has an end time. Everyone, like we are all here for a short time, not a long time. And when your time is done, you're gone. So honestly, therapy saved me. Therapy it saved my relationship with God. It made it better. I just didn't know how to approach that relationship because I thought you had to like. If from to me it was more of like a performance type of relationship. So I was like, if I'm not coming correct to him, I might as well not, do anything about it. But it's not. It's the opposite. Yes, guys. So that's how, honestly, I tell people to go to therapy, not because you're going crazy. And please don't wait until your whole life or your life or your like your grades are suffering for you to go. So yeah, I learned a lot about myself, and now I'm very much self aware. Just because I had that, it wasn't even long, yo. It wasn't even long. I think I did it for 3 weeks or a month because I had to go like I had to travel. So for that month, y'all, I learned a lot, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning, and the like, honestly, I loved how the therapy opened my heart to face my emotions, which led me to opening up to God and letting Him know what was in my heart. Yo, okay, so like honestly the dynamic between me and God became much better after if you're somebody like me who had to pile up your emotions in your heart. You don't have to you cry. If somebody disappoints you, you're allowed to cry. If a no hurts you, please cry. Just honestly don't bottle up emotions, because the more you reserve, one thing your body will never he your body can never forget. You might forget, but your body can never forget. So do yourself a favor and feel your emotions, and please make sure you also don't like to avoid feel your emotion to avoid to pouring into people, and to avoid working in like wasting time solving people's problem where you also have your own problems. Like I was Bob the Builder when my own house was falling down. Make it make sense. It doesn't, does it? It doesn't. But yeah, so let me know, guys. If you have a similar story, I would love to hear how you guys handle it. I would love to hear how like how did you become emotional matured, stuff like that. So please leave comments down below, and I would love to have this conversation with somebody. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is part one of my story. I think I'll do part two. But this time I will talk about how God intervene intervene in my grief. Yeah, it's intervention of God. If I didn't, to if you're seeing me now here, standing and talking, it it can only be God. C'est seulement grâce à Dieu. Seulement grâce à Dieu. Et le Dieu là, le Dieu que je parle, c'est pas le Dieu de mon père, c'est pas le Dieu de ma mère, c'est pas le Dieu de mes tantes, c'est pas le Dieu de mes sœurs. C'est mon Dieu. Le Dieu d'Esther, le Dieu de Esther, il a qu'au dire Esther. Là, c'est mon Dieu. Anyways, that is it for me. Yo, I'm gonna mix languages, so I'm so sorry if you don't understand some of the things I'm saying. But yeah, I love you guys so much, but God loves you more. And ciao, ciao. See you in my next episode.